Hello, my lovelies. It is time for reading today, and we are still going over plot. So on your paper right now, guess what? Some of you are not doing this like I'm asking you to. If you get on help time and you don't know what happened in today's lesson, it's hard for me to help you. If you don't have any of this drawn, it's going to be hard for me to help you. So right now, pause what you're doing. Stop what you're doing. Pay attention to my video. I love you. Let's draw a plot chart. So you put a line down here. You make a little hill. Stop halfway in between. And another line. That is a plot chart. Okay, you can go ahead and set your plot chart aside. I am going to do one for another drama today. But before I do, let's go over the different sections of the plot chart. Now, I like to think, I'm going to use another piece of paper. I like to think of the plot chart as a roller coaster. So let's go ahead and draw a roller coaster with a big hill. So just like a roller coaster, you start at the bottom, you go for a little bit, and then you go up, and then you plummet down, and you go do something else. And I'm going to draw little lines here to try and make it look like a roller coaster. That's the best I got. Kind of looks like a waffle. But I like to think of it as a roller coaster. The reason is just like in a story, the drama is the same thing. My camera's a little crazy. You go up, you start, and they kind of introduce you to the book, or they introduce you to the drama. These are the characters. This is the setting. This is what's happening. And then they're like, okay, I'm going to set you up. These are all of the events that are going on. Events happen. Then you are on the top of the cliff. You're about to plummet down. And guess what happens? They tell you the problem. So you're going, and they tell you the problem. And you're like, hold up, what? And then you plummet back down to earth. And there are some events that happen, right? And you stop somewhere at the bottom with a solution. And then you keep going, or the book ends. Normally the book ends. So again, they tell you the characters, right? They tell you the characters. They tell you the setting. They just kind of set the book or the drama. Books and dramas, plot is the same thing. Whether you do it in a book like we did Frindle, or whether you do it in a drama, literally the same thing. So they start off telling you the characters, the setting. Then a bunch of events happen. And they're all leading you to a problem. And that is called your climax. Or I'm going to put problem right here because sometimes it's easier to remember problem. That's your big in the story. You're like, what just happened? Like on yesterday's assignment, you should have been like, she was cheating. She was going to cheat on her paper. What? Why is she cheating on her paper? And then you have more events that happen. So after she cheated on her paper, what happened? That girl would not eat with her anymore. She was like, you're using me. That is not fair. So then you get down to the end after your problem happens and you have some sort of resolution, some way to solve the problem or the end of the story or the book. It's the same. That's your plot. Think of it as a roller coaster. They take you through the different things. So I'm going to put that aside. And with that being said, there are names for each of the sections on the plot chart. And the first one, your characters and your setting, like on the roller coaster, when you're just kind of sitting there, that's called your exposition. And now, right now, you don't need to memorize these terms, but you do need to know what goes where on a plot chart. So we have our exposition, right? And then we go up. That's called your rising action. Those are the events that lead to your problem. Your climax, sorry, I'm trying to get the best way to, here we go. Your climax is the problem right here or of your story. Then your falling action are the events that lead, to your end of the story or your resolution. So think of this plot chart as a roller coaster, going up, going down. So today we are going to practice that. I'm going to do one with you, and then you are going to do one by yourself. And the drama is a little bit shorter today. Sorry about how long it was yesterday. So first things first, here's how I like to do it. You can figure out all of the different parts however you want. I like to first look at the very, very, very beginning. And I like to find the setting and the characters. That's my exposition, and it's always said within the first few lines. Guess what? This gray box up here says all of our characters' names. So look at that. I didn't even have to read anything to know who the characters were. So let's start off with characters. So in this story, it's called A Different Type of Vacation. We're going to have a narrator, but we're also going to have Lewis, Miranda, Mom, and Dad. Now I'm going to read right here where the narrator says something, and I'm going to figure out what my setting is. Miranda and her parents have just sat down to eat dinner together. Miranda helps herself to a heaping mound of mashed potatoes and gravy and then searches through the platter of roast beef to find the tiniest strip of meat possible. Mom briefly considers placing a bigger slice of roast beef on Miranda's plate, but decides against it. So I'm thinking the setting is going to be I should have said Miranda's house, but I ran out of room. So I just put Miranda's house. That seems like it's going to be our setting. Okay. So once Miss Simpson, the strategy that I use, once I find the exposition, I'm going to go ahead and read the full drama because it's hard to find all these moving pieces if you haven't read the full story yet. So I'm going to read the story, and as I'm reading, I'm going to be thinking, what's the problem? That's really the only question I have in my brain right now. What's the biggest problem in the story? Okay, so let's read the drama, and then I'll tell you how to find all the other things. Okay. Your father and I want to tell you about the summer traveling plans we've made. Summer can't come fast enough as far as I'm concerned. I could use a break from school. Where are we going on vacation this year? This trip is going to be like any other vacation we've ever been on. Are you going to Hawaii? I've always wanted to travel to Hawaii. No, we're not flying to Hawaii. Instead, we're flying to Peru to do a service project. What? That's not a vacation. You're right. Instead of taking a vacation, your mother and I have decided that we should use our resources to help those less fortunate. So I'm going to stop real quick. I'm noticing that this might be one of the problems. She doesn't seem like she wants to do that, does she? That when she said the shocked, and look at what, it has an exclamation point and a question mark. She doesn't seem happy about that. So I'm going to think in my head, maybe, is this the problem? Maybe, but let's keep reading and find out. Well, just because you guys think that's a good idea doesn't mean that I do. Why didn't I have any say? Well, I didn't like your tone of voice, young lady. Go to your room and think about your self-centered behavior. Don't bother returning to eat the rest of your dinner until your attitude has changed. Needless to say, Miranda remains in her bedroom for the rest of the evening. For the next 2 months, Miranda and her parents rarely discuss their upcoming trip. School ends on May 31st, and the Marks family boards the airplane to travel to Peru on June 2nd. After several hours, they arrive in Peru. A man is waiting for them in the airport as soon as they deplane. Hello, you must be Luis. Yes, I am. It's nice to meet all of you. Let's go retrieve your luggage, and then we'll drive right to the orphanage. We're going to an orphanage? Yes, I will tell you more once we find your luggage and get in my car. After gathering their luggage, they pile into Luis's car. Okay, does that seem to be the problem? The biggest problem here? Yeah, it seems like the biggest problem for Miranda is she doesn't want to go on that trip. She seems shocked. She seems mad. She seems upset. It's not a vacation. Okay, let's see. I would love to hear more about the orphanage if you don't mind sharing. Yes, of course. 24 children live in the orphanage. Unfortunately, we're not able to take any more at the moment because we are filled to maximum capacity. We have offices, classrooms, a playground, a kitchen, a cafeteria, and homes. The areas where a group of 12 children live together with one of the paid adults. What happened to these kids' parents? Miranda, that's a rude question to ask. No, it's okay. There are many different reasons why children end up at our orphanage. Some have been abandoned. Others have been abused or neglected. A few have even been brought to us because their parents were living in such extreme poverty that they asked us to take their beloved children so that the children would have an opportunity for a better life. That is so sad. What will we be doing to help at the orphanage? The main project you will be helping us with is our bathrooms. Ugh, bathrooms. Please don't make me clean bathrooms. Man, that's another. This girl, maybe the problem is her attitude. That seems like another big issue. It's continuing. It's the helping. It's the serving. But let's keep reading. It will be our pleasure to help improve the bathrooms. The bathrooms in the school section only have a hole in the ground and a bucket of water for hand washing. You will be helping us install sinks and toilets. The next day, Miranda's parents force her to wake up early. After grumbling under her breath about wishing she were in Hawaii, she finally climbs out of bed and gets dressed. Louise leads her parents to the bathroom, where they begin working right away. Then Louise tells Miranda that the preschool teacher could use her help in the school and leads her in that direction. When Louise opens the door to the preschool, a little girl runs up to Miranda and hugs her leg. At first, Miranda is unsure what to do. She looks down at the girl's big brown eyes and her heart instantly melts. Ooh, I'm seeing a turn. I'm seeing a change in Miranda. She was so mad that she had to go to this orphanage. And now her heart's changing. Hello there. What's your name? The little girl does not speak English and just smiles. Over the course of the next week, Miranda learns everyone's names and is kept busy playing with the children and serving meals. The week flies by and Miranda is surprised to find out that she's actually enjoying herself a lot. Oh my gosh, Miranda. When it's time to return to the airport, she cries when she has to leave the children. Mom and Dad, can we come back here next year? What about Hawaii? I don't care much about visiting Hawaii anymore. I would much rather do something important that makes a difference. Okay, so I think we figured out the problem. The biggest problem in the story, at least for Miranda, was doing the service project in Peru. So I'm going to put that as our climax. So doing the service project in Peru. Okay, so once you find out the problem, it's pretty easy. Well, not easy. That's not the right word to use. It's easier to find the rest of the story. So we know the biggest problem. The biggest issue in the story was doing the service project in Peru. She didn't want to do that. So what led up to her finding out they were doing that service project? So I'm going to say at dinner, Miranda's mom and dad At dinner, Miranda's mom and dad discuss the yearly vacation. And so that's when she found out doing the service she was going to be doing the service project in Peru. And I'm going to put in parentheses, it gave her a bad attitude. Right? Because it did. So, again, our rising action, her mom and dad, right, are telling her all about this awesome vacation they're going to have. And it's doing the serving project in Peru. And she's like, pump the brakes. It's not Hawaii. Hold up. I don't like that. And she gets a bad attitude. Well, guess what? What starts happening? Miranda starts to help at the preschool in the orphanage, right? So once she starts to help at the preschool, then we see a shift. So we have that big, no, I don't. Then that she starts to help. And that little girl hugs her leg. And then how does the story end? Well, she wants to come back next year and help. That's how the story ends. And I think I'm going to add something on our following action. She helps at the preschool and the orphanage, and a little girl hugs her. Okay, because that's kind of the biggest character change that I saw. So again, let's go over this one more time thinking about a roller coaster. Okay, so we start off, we see that the characters in the setting, it's at Miranda's house for the most part, all of those characters, and then we start chugging. We start finding out, okay, we're at dinner, she's telling about their yearly vacation, then Miranda says, pump the brakes, we're going to where? We're doing what? We're going to have to do work. It is not a vacation, and so she gets a bad attitude. And then she gets to Peru and she starts helping at the preschool. And the girl hugs her. Uh-oh. And then what happens at the end of the drama? She wants to come back next year. So I know that was a little bit longer, and I know plot is a little bit harder, but guess what? Today is a grade. Your plot chart is a grade. That's why there's a cactus next to it. So guess what that means? I need to see what you know. So I am not going to help anybody on this one. You have to do it all by yourself. Okay, if your parents help you, if you need help reading a word, if you need help remembering parts of plot, that's okay. They can help you a little bit. But I want you to try to do this one. It's called Time Machine. I want you to try to do it all by yourself. Plot is a review. We did it with Frindle. You're just going to do it now with a drama. And I really, really, really think that you can do it. So today is a grade. I want you to try it on your own. If you have a question about, I don't remember what any of these are, Climax or anything, look at the anchor chart. Don't get on Help Time and ask me. Look at the anchor chart. If you are really stuck, and you are crying and you are upset, ask for a little bit of help, but I'm not going to help you do the whole thing. Ooh, I want to see what your brain knows. All right, guys, I love y'all so much. Y'all have a great day. I know you can do this. Take your time. You have all day, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.